The boy just keeps getting another finish from one of our own, Cian Ashford. Fantastic performance against Rotherham. And of course, Jamie's here, of course, having met the guy with his daughter there. Well, a lovely picture that is, Jamie, this weekend. We're, of course, talking about the demolition of Rotherham. Welcome back to another episode of Where Bluebirds Walk. My name is Mark, I'm a neutral, and we, of course, review all things Cardiff City. There's 20 minutes a week with Jamie and other guests, the longer podcast you listen to, but we're delighted to have you along for this 20-minute journey. Cian Ashford is the main topic of discussion coming up. We're also talking about the summer and have the club made any mistakes with the players which we've lost, and the Premier League is back this weekend, but do we actually care, and are we falling out of love with the nation's previously famous product? And the Cardiff home kit, is it in your top three of your favourite home kits of all time? We've got Jamie to give his view on all of that. We're trying to get to 10 subscribers by the end of this week, so that'd be massive if you can help us out in getting there. That'd be absolutely huge. Right, Jamie, let's jump into it then. Were Rotherham really bad, or were you really quite good?
I think they set out with a certain game plan. They didn't really offer much in attack, so I think it was a matter of when we got a goal. And they frustrated us probably for about 35, 36 minutes, limited us a little bit. But yeah, overall, I think they were, I felt sorry for their 340 odd fans that came down because they didn't really offer a lot. And it's a long way to come from Yorkshire, to not to have one shot on target. It's a frustrating watch. But again, the flip side of that is credit to Brian Barry Murphy and the team, because we were quite relentless when we started going. We got the second goal, the third goal. We could have probably put 4 or 5, on them, and yeah, it was a pleasing watch for once for Cardiff City.
Yeah, who thought we'd be saying that? Playing in blue, bunch of academy players breaking through, a new young manager trying to get the ball played on the deck. Come on, City. Hey, life has never been so good, and there's been such a reversal in the last couple of weeks, Jamie, from the opening game anyway, where it was a little bit doom and gloom, and all of a sudden people are starting to say, do you know what? I can see what this manager's trying to do, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we lost, I think it was like 16, 17 players out of contract in the summer. We had quite a big turnover. And we knew when you get relegated, you're going to have to look at the financial aspects of the football club. So with that, you probably have to put an ownership onto youngsters. It's someone as Cardiff fans we've all loved, as we dub it, one of our own. But at the minute, I think we got 7 or 8 in the match day squad. So we've got 7 of our own who, the vast majority of them are really, really developing well. Cian Ashford, as you said at the top of the show, fantastic going forward. Isaac Davis, Ronan Capaccio, Rupert Colwell. There's so many bright sparks for Cardiff. And if there was a bit of a silver lining to going down at the minute, we're seeing the products of our academy coming through, which is great for the club and great for the fans.
Absolutely. And you've got hungry players there, haven't you? How many times did we speak last season about players who didn't play for the shirt when the going got tough? So fantastic to see. Yeah, more of the same here. This is another comment on BBC. It's been a long time since I saw a Bluebirds team play like that. 3 games in, and we see the positive effect of the new manager's influence on the players. The fans went home happy today, and that says it. That says it all. A word on Mafiko. As well. Now he got a very early yellow card, and Rotherham fans were saying he should have had a second one. First of all, your view on that point?
Initially, I thought, I'd have to agree with that comment. Whether the first yellow was a bit harsh, as Barry Murphy said. I if it was the other way round, I'd be calling for a second yellow. So I understand that grievance. The Mafiko is not a left back by trade, but obviously with the lack of options we have there as such at the minute, the manager likes his work ethic and likes his learning, so that's why you put him in there. But it's never nice to see someone of such a young age be taken off before half time. And I think I was looking at Brian Barry Murphy, thinking you can see he was itching to get to half time and then probably
Yeah.
do it at half time. But to be fair, credit to the Cardiff fans. And I know people say, well, you should be doing that anyway. But as soon as the substitute ball came up, everyone gave him a massive clap. everyone was getting behind him, singing his name. It made almost like an awkward situation feel a bit better for him, because you never want to see a youngster feel like they've let anyone down. And all the senior players who were on the subs bench, the likes of Callum Robinson, Callum Chambers, they all came over as well when they were doing their warm ups, to embrace him and almost give him a bit of a hug and say it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. It seems like not just the manager, but the whole team around him, the coaches, seem to get this one message, don't they? Of we are all together. There's one unit, which perhaps we haven't had before. Perhaps from the dugout to all the way through the team. So good. There's a togetherness about this Cardiff side. What do you say to those that have said, well, and it's mainly Swansea fans, I know, have said, well, you've not played anyone good yet. Do you agree to an extent?
Um, I mean, you'd probably say in terms of good, but then when you've got the resources that we've got in contrast to other people, it's like if you were coming down from the Premier League into the Championship, you're going to have, better players or better finance, what have you. Listen, every game it throws up different things. If we've seen when we discussed last week about the Port Vale performance, we've got no God-given right to beat any side. We have to earn it. And 30 odd minutes yesterday, we were passing the ball lovely and we didn't score. And at the end of the day, is the longer it stays at 0-0, the other side's getting hope in it. I know Swansea fans would be like that, and I hope they enjoy themselves this year when they have the Welsh rivalry with Wrexham. Fair play to them. But this year, maybe it's, again, we've been on a bit of a downward trajectory for a few years, and we've been, lucky not to get relegated probably on a few times. So now we're in League One. It doesn't matter what side we're playing against or the caliber or the reputation of a club. It's 11v11, and you need to front up and put the best version of yourself out. And we saw how Birmingham did it in their respective way last year when they went back up, by through the financial prowess. We may have to, and we probably will have to do it a different way. But if that means using seven of our youngsters and implementing them and getting them development, then I'm happy for that.
Brilliant. Yeah, all here for it. Fantastic. So 20 minutes of Cardiff chat every single week. So delighted to have you along with us. There's lots of longer Cardiff content. So, we hope to be just 20 minutes you can download on a Monday morning, listen back to Jamie and others back of their honest reviews. And, and we'll be doing this all throughout the season, as we did all throughout last season. So delighted to have you in your company. This week then poses a bit of a difficult test, as this post here says. And Jamie, I don't know what your thoughts on this one are. First of all, on the game, complete performance on the whole, seeing us dominate possession is something we've craved for so long. It's going to be interesting to see how we fare on Tuesday. AFC Wimbledon with a very physical bunch. Come on, you Bluebirds. Yeah. How do you see this test of this week?
I think it's going to be very similar to what we faced at Port Vale, if I'm honest. Again, any away game, naturally the facilities, the size of the stadium is smaller. And when you go to grounds like AFC Wimbledon and Port Vale, they make it their own. They make it comfortable for themselves and not uncomfortable for us. So it will be very tough. I watched AFC Wimbledon a few times last year. Credit to Johnny Jackson and the team for getting up. We saw on the way back from Blackburn away last year, we bumped into Miles Hippolyte and I think it's Joe Lewis, is it, the centre half? And they're, but good guys, to be fair to them. Having a chat with a few Cardiff fans, and it'd be a tough test. Listen, long throws, no doubt, corners, set pieces. So again, it's never a given. So it'd be another tough test, and hopefully we can get something from it and just keep climbing the league.
Brilliant. Quick note on the League Cup. We haven't spoken about that. I know it's been a week now. Anything we learnt from that game?
That Brian Barry Murphy seems to be taking it fairly serious. I think that's the first notable point. He just rotated his senior squad, if anything, didn't really use any of the under-21s that they played earlier on in the day, which was a bit of a surprise. I think we thought that maybe he would add the likes of Louis Giles and other players from the 21s and put them up. I thought it was a game of two halves, if I'm honest. I thought first half we dominated, scored a cracking free kick from Ruben Colwell, which, is becoming a norm now, it feels like. But then when you're only 2-0 up, you don't take your chances, should be, far and out of it. Swindon then get a goal, which, to be fair, is a great finish from the boy. And then we're kind of up against the ropes. They've got some momentum back, and Ian Holloway's a character, isn't he? He said
Yeah.
first half, his comments were quite telling. He said first half they were nowhere to be seen. If it was a boxing fight, they'd probably be out of it. But second half, credit to Swindon, they did put up a fight, and they created some chances that got a bit edgy towards the end. But we're in the hat for round two, another home draw upcoming. The Joel Colwell derby, as it's being dubbed,
Yeah,
against
it's
Cheltenham.
Cheltenham, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, listen, it's cup football, isn't it? We're now playing against Cheltenham in League Two. I'm sure they'll bring some more fans that are good following, and under the lights at the Cardiff City Stadium, who knows what can happen?
Yeah, decent run last year in the cup, didn't it? Or the FA Cup, wasn't it, against Villa?
Yeah.
That's super. Right, fantastic. Let's move on then to talk about these exits. Now we couldn't fit them all on one page here, so we're gonna have to just run through these in two stages. Let's go through the big ones first in terms of ones we definitely expected to leave. Simic, first of all. There's a loan fee that's gone into here. I mean, you probably didn't expect him to play League One football. It's fair to say, isn't it, Jamie?
Yeah, it's one of those ones that I think Cardiff fans call it almost a committee signing, because it's been touted around that we've got a transfer committee, and it could be right, could be wrong, who knows. But him and other players that we signed in the past, it was Tassonda as well, who probably is on the list. He's gone now. It feels like what was almost the point in signing them if they're not in the
Yeah.
first team, they immediately loaned out, which is fine, but then they never featured, and it was like you'd kind of just hope that the outlay for those players wasn't significant, because otherwise it would be literally a waste of money. But he's scoring goals now on loan in Germany. I hope he does score a lot more goals, because then obviously the obligation to buy hopefully will be triggered, and we can get some sort of finance from that.
Yeah. Okay. Quite a long list here. We'll run through them. Gutes, Ramsey, of course, Kieran Evans, Dowder, De Saunders, you mentioned there, Kieran Ateti, El Ghazi. Some of these players haven't even got clubs yet. Are there any on there that we've said goodbye to that you thought perhaps might have hung around and helped out in League One that you're slightly disappointed by?
I mean, O'Dowda, I think we kind of didn't expect him to go, probably so soon, if that makes sense. I think, naturally there are going to be suitors that are looking at when you get relegated or a club gets relegated, if they can poach. And I suppose when you put the dots together that Robbie Keane is the manager of Ferencváros, it was probably a suitable move for him. So I wish him all the best. I would have liked to seen Gutas stay around. I mean, I think at the minute um, we are, I wouldn't say shaky, but at times we can be a bit like we have no real shape at the back. It feels like when the game's open and we got a lack of experience. Maybe Gutas could have stayed around, but listen, he's gone and got a nice probably move in Greece for himself. But I'd say overall probably not. Contracts coming to an end, and finances again come into a factor when you've just been relegated.
Okay, brilliant. Let us know in the comments whether there's any players you'd have wished to have hung around a little bit more, who deserve to give a bit more back to the club. Brilliant. And then finally, we'll talk about the shirt. So we saw it earlier. What do we make of this year's effort? I mean, there's not much you can do with blue and white. It's fair to the designers here, but do you like this one?
It's very basic, though. That it feels like, it sounds daft. The Visit Malaysia's almost just been stuck onto the t-shirt over the lines. In fact, I think the lines go through the letter. As Cardiff fans, naturally, we'd love to see yellow implemented in it. And for whatever reason, it isn't. A lot of people say is it because of our owners' superstitious, but beliefs that yellow is a good or a bad color. I don't know. But it is very, very plain. But listen, it, the only thing I think a bit of disappointment was that we didn't keep the badge of last year. I know it was an anniversary badge and an iconic badge, but genuinely just seeing a bluebird front and center, a big bluebird, that would have been a nice touch on that kit. But listen, it's blue. It's our home kit. Our green away kit's not too bad. It's okay. But when the goals are scoring, I don't really care what we wear.
Yeah, it's blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the main thing with this owner. Brilliant. All right. Cheers for that, Jamie. At what time will you be setting off and getting back to Wimbledon then on Tuesday?
I think we're leaving around about 1:30, and then, well, goodness, no, you know what it's like, the London traffic and the stop and start nature of London.
Yeah.
So we'll probably get back into Cardiff around 2:30 in the morning. Hopefully with 3 points, but who knows?
Yeah, and it's a new ground for you as well.
Yeah, I went to when they were playing at where the Chelsea ladies now play. I went there, but I haven't been to Plough Lane, so it'd be a nice ground to go to, hopefully,
Right.
and a memorable evening.
Brilliant. Fingers crossed for you Tuesday night to bring back 3 points. And of course, we'll review that and the weekend's game on this next week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Do drop us a subscribe if we would build this little community up. That'd be amazing. And we'll see you in 7 days' time. Thanks, Jamie. Have a good one.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you.